there, family. I didn't see you there.
What's up, family?
And welcome back to another edition of the Crenshaw Corner. I am your host, Sanchez Crenshaw, and as always, I am joined by the absolute best part of my day.
That's me, y'all.
The apple of my eye.
I am.
The wind beneath my wings.
You be flying.
The rib that completes me.
Totally complete.
The Madeline to my David.
What in all the love of television?
Madeline and David.
Who?
You're right, it is a television show. Madeline and David. Sybil Shepherd was Madeline. Bruce Willis was David.
It was a detective show.
It was a detective show. Some fly by night.
Moonlighting.
There you go.
Come.
I'm
come on, somebody.
I'm actually proud of you.
Thanks. Give it up for me.
I really did not expect you to get that one.
Really?
I really didn't.
Honestly,
I didn't. I didn't think you would get it.
So you out here trying to snag me or not snag
Trying
me?
to snag me?
No, I meant to say
I already have you. We're together. We've been together for 22 years. I already got you.
Not snag me, but trip me up. So you out here purposely trying. You're not trying to like, I'm gonna give it so my baby can get it. You trying to get it so my baby can't get it. Is that what's happening?
Nah, I just didn't think you would get that one.
I didn't.
Proud of you.
That sounded more like an after dark. What I just said versus a regular.
I'm not touching it. Not touching it at all.
Don't touch it, baby.
Are you gonna tell people your name?
What's going on, family? What is going on? I am Angela Crenshaw, guys. What is going on?
That is my wife, family.
I'm so excited
that
today.
That is my wife.
I'm so excited.
I am. Families.
Oh my gosh.
So if you've noticed, you're not originally hearing this episode on a Friday.
You're not.
Yeah, if you notice, actually Friday came, Friday went, and that was not a Crenshaw Corner episode. So that leads to the question, well, what happened? Why was there not
Where were you
an
guys?
episode on Friday?
Yes.
Well, family, actually, that was all part of the plan.
Yes.
There is a method to our madness.
It is, even though there's a lot of madness.
Yeah, it's a lot of madness. But family, the reason is because, very simply, we wanted this particular episode to air on
It's Monday.
February 7th, 2022. And why? There's actually two very particular reasons. To us, two very important reasons why we wanted this particular episode to air on Monday, February 7th, 2022. And that's because that date means two very important things to the Crenshaws.
Yeah.
It is our 22nd wedding anniversary. That's right. So
listen, y'all. 22 years.
22 years.
That I've been with this incredible and amazing man who has drove me crazy.
Wow. I thought she was just going to keep it
No.
above board. I thought she was going to keep it lovingly.
I am going to keep it loving.
Oh, wow.
Listen, who has drove me crazy, who has drove me to be the best part of myself, the best version of myself, who has drove and rode this journey of our children becoming adults to being grandparents. I mean, we've done the thing, baby. And I want to just say, thank you. Thank you for this journey. We have many more to go, of course, but
of course.
Just thank you for the first 22 years.
Yeah, 22
has been an amazing, incredible journey. And I want to just thank you for being the man that you are and the father and grandfather that you are. And people don't know how hard you work on the background of everything as far as being a father and a husband and a grandfather and a friend and all these accolades and a brother and all that good stuff and a son. But they don't know how hard you work at doing this with your own journey and the things that you go through. So I want to just say thank you, babe. I love you so much.
Oh, thank you, baby. I love you as
You're
well.
welcome. Plus, you got on your anniversary sexy radio voice.
I don't know about all
Come
that.
on now. Sound all sexy.
Go ahead with that, girl. But yes, so that's the first thing. So the first thing, it's 22 years of the Crenshaws being married, which means the world to us. 22 years. It seems like a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
But an extended amount of time all at the same time. So it's kind of crazy.
I always feel like when people say, "Oh my God, I can't believe y'all been married that long." I feel like we're still babies in the game.
Yeah, I still feel like we're still freshmen here.
Yeah, we still learning about marriage. I just feel like we're babies and we're still learning.
So it's that. And then secondly,
come on with it.
The reason we wanted this particular episode to air on Monday, February 7th, 2022, is because on February 7th, it's not only our wedding anniversary, but it's the anniversary of the Crenshaw Corner.
Oh my God.
And it's been 2 years.
2 years that
we have been on this microphone.
Good gracious.
For 2 years.
2 years.
We have been on this journey of podcasting and
talking
therapy sessions.
Our therapy
sessions for 2 years. And we have had family members who have been on this journey with us for the last 2 years.
Yes. We've had couples and just girl talks and couple talks and guys talks.
God talks and single talks.
Yes.
And we've had, over these last 2 years, we've had some of the greatest guests and some of the greatest people.
Oh my God.
That we know. On these microphones, and we've had the opportunity to talk to some of the greatest married couples.
Yes,
some of the most wonderful single people.
Yes,
and we've just had this incredible journey. Yes, we've had a great time. So there's, like I said, there's a particular reason we wanted this episode to air on this date. Once again, 22 years of marriage, and then 2 years of the Crenshaw Corner. Bae, did you think we would make it 2 years?
That's one of the questions that somebody asked us.
Okay, we don't answer it yet.
So I'll answer it a little bit later once we do some housekeeping. But we definitely needed to do this first so people can understand. I think that so many people have applauded us because it was like some people don't make it this far podcasting, and what do you do? And we've just been having a great time, and we've learned. I feel like it's brought our marriage closer because we've had so many great couples that has given us so many great ideas.
Very much so.
And changed our perspective, right?
Yeah. And it's amazing because when you look at the statistics of podcasting, first of all, there's so many. The market is just saturated. And with podcasts, there's a lot of voices out there.
Yeah, amazing voices.
But the average podcast, when people start this, it's like they may get 8, 9 episodes, 10 episodes in, and then they disappear. They decide they don't want to do it. And we are over 160 episodes in.
Wow.
We are 2 years in. We are in multiple different countries. Which is amazing to me. Once again, and we've said this before. So, and this is going to be part of the housekeeping, and I'll get into the housekeeping. But I want to begin with just family. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh my goodness.
Thank you for these 2 years.
It's because of you guys.
Yes, it cannot be understated.
Yeah.
How thankful and how grateful we are to you as the family for listening to us, for accepting us into your home, for accepting us into your life.
Your ears.
Because once again, for a lot of the family members, we are just two random people behind a microphone that happen to, for whatever reason, happen to come across us.
And you chose us.
Yeah. Whether it was you just happen to be looking through your podcast feed and found our podcast, or you happen to be going on social media and saw one of our posts, or you happen to be going to YouTube and saw one of our videos. Or if someone told you about us or you heard about us and you decided to listen and you stayed. And once again, we do not take that for granted, because once again, we are just two random people on a journey. We started this as a therapy session for ourselves. We started this as a way for an outlet. We started this right as the pandemic was, in full force, and there was so much uncertainty, and there's still so much uncertainty about the world and life. And we decided, you know what? Let's just start talking.
And hoping that somebody somewhere could relate or was going through what we were going through, and would reach out to us and be like, we're going through what you're going through, or we went through what you went through, and here are some ideas. We just wanted different perspective, different thought processes. And so it has been an incredible journey.
It has. And then from the birth of that, we have family members And we have family members in all 50 states of the United States of America.
Thank you, guys.
We have family members in Canada. We have family members in Taiwan. We have family members in France. We have family members in Germany. We have family members in Russia. We have family members in Japan.
Yeah.
We have family members in Spain. We have family members in the UK. And that's just to name a few.
And trust me, when we say family members, you guys are our family.
We are a family.
Yeah, thank you so much.
When we say that, and I know it may seem cliche, but we say that because it's because of you why we're able to do this. It's because of you why we're able to turn these microphones on. It's because of you why we're able to sit down and have real ugly conversations. It's because of you why we're able to sit down and have have conversations with some of the most wonderful people.
Yeah.
And we thank you for 2 years.
Yeah, thank you.
And we look forward to 2 more.
Yeah.
And 2 more and 2 more.
Let's just see where it goes.
And we're excited to continue to grow the Crenshaw Corner. We're excited to continue to grow the brand of the Crenshaw Corner. We are excited about 2022. We've mentioned it before.
2022.
Yeah, we've mentioned it before. We're going to do some things when it comes to the Crenshaw Corner.
Yeah, we're going to do some
in
stuff.
2022. We're not going to get into it now.
Yeah.
But we're excited. So family, we just thank you. We thank you for listening, however you're listening, whether it's on iTunes, whether it's on Podbean, whether it's on Spotify, whether it's on Amazon Music, whether it's on Google Podcasts, whether it's iHeartRadio, on our own personal website at www.thecrenshawcorner.com.
Yeah.
We thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, guys. Oh, my goodness.
For our new family members,
what's going on? Welcome, guys.
We welcome you. And we're so happy to have you.
Yes.
For our returning family members, you already know how we feel about you.
Come on now.
Now, please, our new family members, do not misunderstand.
Yes, we love you too.
We love you.
We love you.
We honor you. We appreciate you.
Yes,
we're grateful for you.
Yes, we are.
But there is just something about those returning family members.
Yes.
That continue to listen, that continue to reach out, that continue to provide feedback, that continue to give love.
Yeah.
We just thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys so much. Now, just to understand, first timers, that you say to yourself, well, how did I become a part of the family? Just by listening to us, you just became a part of our family. That's all it took. How do I become a returner? And once you listen to us another time, you are a returner.
You're a returner.
And a returner and returner and returner. And bring somebody with you.
Bring a friend. Bring another family member.
Bring somebody with you. Make it a consistent thing, because we're going to be here for you.
We're going to be here.
And know that we love you guys so much, whether you're a returner or a new person, because a new person's a returner. So we're excited about that too as well.
Yeah, so we love you. And as always, welcome to the cookout.
Yes.
Make sure you bring some aluminum foil so you can what, babe?
Take something with you. A Crenshaw nugget, a different perspective, a aha moment.
Just take something with you.
Take something with you. I just got to say this.
What's up, baby?
This is crazy. We've been married 22 years. 22 years. And it's 2 years.
2 years on the podcast.
And this is the second year. I mean, the second month of the year. And we in 2022.
A lot of twos.
So I feel like that's double
portions.
Double portions.
Just double portions.
This is the year double portions, people. And I want to say this to you, family, guys. Double portions. I speak double portion over your lives. And I hope that you guys receive it. And you don't just think that we're just saying that. I really believe that God is going to bless you in this year. And I ask that he bless the work of your hands, and that double portion.
Just double portion.
Double portion of overflow.
Yes, ma'am.
Overflow. I'm sorry. Carry on with your housekeeping.
I love it. And then, family, as always, we consider ourselves an interactive podcast, which means we can be found on the socials. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook, all on the Crenshaw Corner. And of course, you can email us at any time at thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com. Once again, thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com. And then, family, as I mentioned before, we can be found on YouTube.
Yes.
We do have a YouTube channel.
Yes, we do.
It's the Crenshaw Corner. There you will find some of my favorite content, which is my wife's moo moments. Angela does these segments called moo moments. You just have to watch them.
I'll be having to get stuff off my chest.
Yeah, it's her getting things off her chest. It's a lot of great information she provides. You will actually find also episodes of the podcast where we've recorded some of our podcasts.
Yeah.
So it's just some really good content there. We feel some really good content.
Yeah.
So please go to the YouTube channel, subscribe, watch a video, share the videos, like the videos, comment on the videos. Also, click the notification bell on the videos to be notified when we upload new content.
Yes.
And yeah, so family, so baby, there you go. Housekeeping is done.
Thank
Now,
you.
even though it's the anniversary show,
Mm-hmm.
A 2-time anniversary show, I have no idea what we're talking about. What's going on?
So what I did was I compiled some questions that people have been asking in reference to it. They were asking more about being married and us being married for 22 years. So they wanted some advice. A couple of people did ask about the Crenshaw Corner.
Right.
And so let's go back to the first question. Did I believe that we would make it for 2 years? Right. Because one of the questions was, how has the Crenshaw Corner fared in these 2 years? Do we think that we've done well? And the crazy part about that, I don't know if we've done well, and I don't know if we've done bad. I just know that we're moving and we're doing. We never try to figure out what we're doing good or what we're doing bad. We do want to be the best version of ourselves for you guys, but we also want to be transparent. We're just doing this every day, not knowing what we're doing. We're learning, though.
We're learning as we go.
We learn as we go. Yeah. And I think for us to be doing this for 2 years, I think we've done an incredible job. Yeah. And not because we're in different countries, and not because we're in different states, and not because any of those things, but because of the people who email us, the people who text us, the people who call us and be like, I had an aha moment. Or they say, hey, by the way, I see you and Sanchez was talking about this. Have y'all ever thought about this? And we have like, whoa. Or the couples who actually call us and be like, hey, why we ain't been on your show? Just like that. Why we ain't been on your show? Been there? And so it's those small things that may seem small, but they're so huge for us. Right. And so I don't know. I can't say, yeah, we did great. We always knew that what we wanted to do is if we could just bless one couple, we were okay. If every time we could turn this mic
that's
on,
a success.
Exactly, and we blessed one couple, we were successful then.
Right.
We were good. And we've heard from couples that said that was so helpful, and thank you so much for being transparent, and thank you for telling the truth, or thank you for being, because I don't know, we be crazy up on this microphone, and thank you for making my day, making my morning better, because I was cracking up.
Thank you for giving me a laugh.
All day, exactly. So that's where I think, for me personally, I think the success is in those areas for me, not in the. And I'm so excited. Hear my heart. I'm excited about the countries and the states and everybody. Right. But I'm just saying, in those little things that people think is little is really big to us because it means so much to us. Right? How do you feel about the 2 years?
I think and I don't know if it's good, bad, or indifferent, but I don't think we ever went into it thinking about if we're going to be doing this for a year, or if we're going to be doing it for 2 years. I don't think we ever thought about that.
I don't think so.
It was a situation where, and we've mentioned this before, it was an outlet and a therapy session with us, for us, because we were in uncharted waters. Yeah. When it came to, because once again, this podcast was birthed out of the pandemic. It was birthed out of the beginning of the pandemic. Yeah. Where we were confined to our homes, and pretty much the entire world was shut down. Yeah. We couldn't move around the earth like we were used to doing. We were working from home, which was a new experience. Not only are we working from home, but we're working from home in smaller confined quarters. So we're having to maneuver around that. We're having to figure out, okay, well, what is your workspace going to be? What is my workspace going to be? I have meetings that I have to talk and present. What does that look like for you? Because you also, at that time, I think you were doing the contact center, or you were doing.
I was in training.
You were in training.
I was in training
for the caseworker. And so, and you're learning something new. So you need quiet and space. But I have these meetings pretty much throughout the entire day. So what is this going to look like? What is it going to look like where we're used to being away from each other for a certain amount of time during the day, and now we're always with each other.
Exactly.
Like there is no space, there is no break.
Right, because we actually worked, which was crazy. I don't even know why we did this, but we actually worked in the same room. So I was on one part of the room.
When you were one side of the room, I was on the
other side of the room. And so I'm trying to concentrate on training, and he talking loud, not intentionally, but about his meetings and all this other stuff. And then what the pandemic did for us is there were no buffers anymore. There was no way that those hard conversations could not be had, because he said he couldn't say, or I couldn't say, I'm going to the store. I'm going to the mall.
Right.
I'm going here. I'm going there. There was no going.
There was nowhere to go.
There was nowhere to go. So we birthed this by saying, you know what? If we're going through this, it got to be somebody going through this. So let's go ahead and tell our truth and what's happening in the pandemic and what is happening for us and where our feelings are and what brought up, what surfaced in that time. And a lot of things surfaced.
And some real honest, and we talk about it all the time, real honest, ugly conversations.
Yeah.
So when we talk about did I think we would be here 2 years? No, because that thought process really never crossed my mind. And like I said, I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing or indifferent.
Right.
Because when it comes to it, there was no planning when it came to the longevity of what we were doing.
We just was so happy to do it.
Yeah. But then also when it comes to the question of success, yes, I love the fact that we are in multiple countries. I love the fact that we're on multiple continents. Continents is what I'm trying to say.
You got it.
I love the fact that we are in every state in the continental United States. But that's not the part for me that's the success. Even though it's wonderful and I love the family, and please keep listening and please keep being a part of this journey.
Yeah.
But for me, the success is the fact that we've always been true to who we are.
Yeah.
That we've always been true to the family. Yeah. We've always been transparent.
Yeah.
We get on these microphones, and what we don't do is we don't try to sugarcoat what's going on. We don't sugarcoat. If there's a problem that we're going through, we have an honest conversation with the family. We tell them, guys, we didn't like each other before we turned on these microphones. Or last week we had this particular blowout, and we have these honest conversations. And the reason I feel like that's a success is because it's allowed other married couples and other couples that are going through something similar or that's been through something similar and they couldn't figure out a way to work it out. It opened up a door for conversations for them. And so when we hear the stories of the family that said, hey, I listened to your podcast or watched the video and you guys said this, and it opened up a conversation for me and my spouse to have. Yeah. And for me, that's the success.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when we ask the question, do we feel as though the podcast has been successful? I'm going to say yes in that regard. Because we've touched at least one family. One family, yeah. And that one family matters.
Yeah, because what happens is when somebody in their family is going through the similar situation, they can glean from what we said and what they've learned on their own to be able to bless the next couple. Right. So it's kind of like the perk commercial. Is it perk?
Depends on what you're talking about.
And so on and so on. Was it perk?
I think it might have been.
And so on and so on and so on.
Might have been perk. So that might have been before my time too.
Don't do that.
That sounds like before my time.
Don't do that, bro. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm just saying.
Don't do it, Kenny Gardner. But anyway, so it's just like we just want to make sure that we're being our best authentic selves, that we're not trying to be anything else. This is what we bring to the table. So yeah, I'm with you. So the next question.
What's the next question?
All right, hold on. Let me open it back up.
Okay, well, get your notes.
Notes. The next question is, they want to ask us, what do you do when socially, what do you do when you don't have the same taste in music, movies, or whatever with your significant other? What do you? What do you?
I get the question.
First of all,
that's us in a nutshell.
I was like, who telling our business in the street?
Yeah, because we don't have the same taste.
We don't have nothing.
Pretty much nothing.
Nothing, God.
When it comes to anything entertainment, when it comes to anything, when it comes to anything written word, literature, movies. We don't have the same taste. Podcasts. We don't have the same taste.
YouTube videos. Nothing.
I'm gonna answer that question. I'm gonna answer it first.
Go ahead, go for it.
And then you go for it.
I just want to know who was in my business. Who wrote this?
Somebody's in our house. Yeah, somebody got some bugs in our house.
I look later who question who was in our business. A matter of fact, I'm gonna email them about this.
So, what do you do when you and your spouse are opposites? Is basically what I hear from the question. Yeah. For me, I'm going to say the very first thing you do.
Wait, but they're only talking about opposites in the social aspect of like movies and music and stuff like that. Okay.
What I'm going to say is that first of all, respect the difference. That's going to be the very first thing. Respect the difference. Respect the fact that you and your spouse does not have the same taste in music. Respect the fact that you don't have the same taste in movies. To start there. Secondly, is that when you don't have the same taste, be open. Try it. At least try it once. Watch one of their random movies with them at least one time. Listen to one of their random songs at least one time.
Sweet Lord, try it one time, y'all.
One time. You may enjoy it.
You may.
But even if you don't, what happens is that when you do that, because a lot of the times when you're doing things in a marriage, you're doing things not for self. Because I need you to understand the joy that you will give your spouse for coming into their world. Angela and I are the same way. I am, and guys, you've listened to us for long in the family. You know, when it comes to things like that, Angela and I are polar opposites.
All of those.
Yeah. My beautiful wife, she's more of the the rom-coms. You know, she likes her Legally Blonde. She likes her Miss Congeniality. Those are two of her favorite movies.
Yeah.
You know, those are the things, you know, she likes her. She hasn't watched it in a very long time, but she likes her Grey's Anatomy, her Desperate Housewives, shows like that. You know, those are the kind of stuff she watch. Where me, I'm a sci-fi person.
Oh, Lord.
You know, I am a Star Wars, Star Trek. I'm a Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Star Trek Voyager. You know, I'm going to throw one at you. I'm going to give you a throwback. I'm a Stargate person.
Good gracious,
you know,
baby.
Those are the type of stuff I love to watch.
Throwback, you just went back.
Yeah. You know, but my wife it doesn't float her boat. You know, stuff like that doesn't amuse her. But when she takes the time to sit down with me and watch one, and watch a sci-fi movie with me, or go to a Marvel, because those are some of my favorite. Like right now, those really the only movies I will go to the theater to see.
Yeah, it's Marvel.
There's only two movie franchises that, as of right now, I will actually go pay money to see in a movie theater. That's the Marvel franchise and the John Wick franchise. Those are really it. Anything else, I'll just catch it when I catch it.
Catch it when you catch it.
Yeah. So when my wife first came to me and said, "Babe, let's go to a Marvel movie," I was dumbfounded. I was shocked that the fact that she was willing to do that, even though I knew it was not something that she enjoyed, or even something that she understood because of the lore and the background and the legacy of Marvel.
Because you got to know everything to enjoy any of them, but that's okay.
Yeah, which is something she was never into. But the fact that she was willing to come into my world for that, you know, hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever it was, meant everything to me. Yeah. So when you find yourselves in a situation where you and your spouse are polar opposites when it comes to your likes, when it comes to your movies, your entertainment, your music, sometimes you just have to sacrifice just for the joy of your spouse. Yeah. Because
you might surprise yourself and like it. Yeah. I just want to say that part, but go ahead.
No, you might. And just the joy that it will give them. The best time in one of the most best, that's not proper English, but I'm going to go with that right now. One of the most enjoyable times that I've had recently, and family, we've talked about this before, one of my entertainment pleasures as well, I'm a gamer. You know, I'm 44 and I'm a gamer, and I'm okay with that. You know, I've been a gamer all my life.
Right.
You know,
and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I started with the Atari 1600.
No, you're just pulling all those stuff out right now, ain't you?
That was my first gaming system. I had the Atari 1600.
Atari 1600,
with the black joysticks that only had one button. That only had the one red button.
You doing it then? You doing it.
With the cartridge, you had to blow on and pop in there just right to make sure it played. The dust out. You know what I'm saying? I was playing Pong and Tank.
Pong and Tank.
Yeah.
So, you know, I wasn't playing any games.
Yeah, so from there to now with the PlayStation 4 and 5, you know, so I've been gaming all my life. And so one of the best things happened is that I was sitting on the couch one day and I was gaming. I was just playing some random games. And out of the blue, Ange just came. She sat down with me and she said, "Show me what you're doing. I want to play."
That's where
Let me play.
That's where I went wrong. Yeah.
And I put in a game that because she's never played a video game before in her life. So I put in a game that
I played Pac-Man.
Okay, you played Pac-Man.
And
in 1963.
Centipede.
It's
Centipede. Correction.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
So she's played Pac-Man and Centipede in 1963.
Whatever. I played.
Yeah. But no, and she said, and so I put on a game that I thought would be kind of easy for her to grasp.
Wait a minute, bro.
No, it was Spider-Man first before I even went to Far Cry.
Oh, okay.
So he's playing Spider-Man first.
Okay, that didn't go well.
Yeah. So he's playing Marvel Spider-Man, and she sat down and she got to control, and I gave her some tips, and she asked me questions. And then for the next 15, 20 minutes, we just sat down and we just played video games together.
But Spider-Man, here's my problem with Spider-Man. Spider-Man wouldn't do right. I couldn't get him up the wall.
Because you wouldn't push the right button.
I kept trying to get him up the wall, but he kept going other places. He was very disrespectful.
He was doing what you was telling him to do.
No, so I didn't want to do that no more. So then I thought, I'm straight from Brooklyn. I'm from the hood. You know what I'm saying? So he put on Far Cry.
Far Cry
like
5.
A killer.
Yeah,
it's like a killer.
First person shooter.
Yeah, I'm a hood chick.
It didn't go well for her. She kept rolling up to the end and he's getting stabbed in the neck.
I kept getting stabbed in the neck. It was like fast kills too. Like they didn't even give me opportunity to get.
Yeah, she didn't last long at all.
I feel like games should let you get yourself together. They didn't let me get myself together.
Nah, you didn't even pull your weapon. They took you out.
But everything was a stab to the neck. I guess I don't know if I was going to the left. Maybe I just was going the right directions. And I felt like he wasn't helping me, giving me the right codes or what I'm supposed to do because I kept getting killed.
So, but it was the joy I had just sitting down with her actually showing interest in things that I like.
Yeah.
And just coming and being a part, even if it was, like I said, it was only for 15 or 20 minutes. And it was the most fun that I've had playing a video game in decades.
Because I was getting killed.
And no, it was just the fact that you, for that moment, just wanted to be a part
of what you were part of.
Yeah, just wanted to be a part that had nothing to do with anything else but just being a part of what I was a part of.
Yeah.
And so what I would say once again, so for the family members who find themselves in that situation where you may have a spouse that's a gamer, you could care less about games, or you may have a spouse that's into a certain genre of movie that you could care less about, or books that you can care less about. Just take the time just for 15 to 20 minutes and just go sit down and let them explain it to you, or watch it with them, or read a chapter with them, or play the game with them, and just look at the joy that it gives to them.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say. I don't know what you would say. I know that was kind of a long-winded answer.
No, it wasn't. I'm kind of with you on that. Just being able to understand that you're not going to have the same things, but you can find something in the middle as well. This blew me and Sanchez's mind from back in the day till now. Anything on TV, we would just go ahead and split up in rooms, like, baby, because ain't no way I'm watching this. But then one day we found a show about 5 or 6 years ago that we actually love, and we would meet in the bedroom and be like, yo, our show coming on, Project Runway.
Yeah, Project Runway.
Blew our mind that we both like Project Runway.
Yeah.
And we would watch that, and that was our thing, our night, our time. So it's also looking around, because I would have never thought he would watch Project Runway.
I never thought I would have watched.
I never thought I would be watching Project Runway. That was not my thing.
I'm not a designer. I have no desire to be a designer.
Right, exactly.
I don't want to design clothes.
None of that.
But
we ran across it and we said, hey, let's try this. And we loved it. So we knew we had a thing. So you might want to go out of the box per se.
Right.
And not just go with what he loves and what you love or what she loves, but find something that you guys can love together. Same thing with music. Me and Sanchez y'all.
Well, first of all,
don't do that.
You would have to like music.
I do like music.
My wife.
I like music.
My wife does not like music.
I do.
And here's how I know how my wife doesn't like music. Because I like pretty much any type of music that's ever been made.
Yes, and his album. Am I saying that? His album collection is ridiculous. You don't even know. You would, if you came in our house, you would know who he was, because his thought process to music is so huge.
Yeah, because and we've had this conversation before, but within my record collection, I have everything from Johnny Cash to Queen to Amy Winehouse to Bob Marley to Van Morrison to Three Dog Night. I mean, I have a little bit of Luther Vandross, Anita Baker. Yes. I got a little bit of everything. And you don't like George Benson.
No, I do.
Grover Washington Jr.
I only want to listen
Miles
to
Davis.
Who do I want to listen
Miles
to?
Davis.
Miles Davis.
That's all you want to listen to is my Miles Davis.
I just want to listen to Miles Davis.
Yeah, that's it.
Nobody need to say nothing. See, everybody, they're talking too much for me. They just saying stuff. I don't care. Miles is giving me what I need. Poo-doo, poo, poo, poo-doo, poo-doo, poo-doo. See, that's
Is that what Miles giving you? Is that what he's giving you?
Poo-doo, poo, poo, poo-doo, poo-doo. So I like that. So when he plays that, he know I'm good. He don't got to worry himself about nothing. So that's another place that we found our ground. The reason why I know he loves Marvel. And so I was like, I don't know anything about Marvel. You know, really, him and his children have deep thought conversations about Marvel movies.
Yeah, we have deep intellectual conversations about the Marvel movies.
They do like round tables. I'm not lying, guys. And they break it down from when it was a cartoon.
Comics started with a
comic book.
Some were turned into cartoons.
And they bring it all the way up. So I'm not involved in that. But I saw the joy that it brought him, and I was like, I'm willing to give it a chance, because if he's in the room with me and I'm watching one of those like Miss Congeniality or Legally Blonde or whatever, and he's in there, he'll get caught up in it and be like, I'm not doing this with you today, baby. Why am I caught up in this movie? So because he could walk away and go, we have other rooms, you know, that he could. So if he's putting the effort to do that and just stay in the room, I can definitely put an effort to go to some of his movies. And I think that's where I had to tell myself, it's not about the movie, it's not about the show, it's about us being together.
It's not about the thing itself.
Yeah, it's about us being together.
It's just about us having that connection for that moment, and us having that bonding experience for that moment.
Exactly.
That really has nothing to do with that particular property or that particular the song or the movie or the whatever. It's just, it gives us a connection for that moment, and it gives us time to bond. One of the most awkward, beautiful moments
I think I know what you're about to talk
that
about.
we've had in the 22 years of being together. There was this point in time where all my beautiful wife did was get movie premiere tickets. I don't know how she did it, but like every movie
for like 2 years,
for like 2 years straight, we never paid for movies.
Never.
She always ended up finding or getting or winning or obtaining movie premiere tickets. And during that season in her life, she was a huge fan of Sex and the City.
Sex and the City.
She was a huge fan. I mean, like, watch the episode. We had cable only for her to be able to watch, because we're not a cable family. We're not a cable family. We don't keep cable long. Like right now, we don't have cable. We don't. It's just not something we do.
Right.
And so, but we had cable just for her to be able to watch Sex and the City.
Yeah.
And then this was when the time where they were huge, and they did the movie. Yeah. Sex and the City, the movie. And my wife got premiered and got tickets for it. And I don't think initially she thought I was going to go with her.
I didn't.
But she posed the question. She's like, babe, I got these tickets. I don't really want to tell you what the movie is, but I want to know if you want to go with me. She told me. I was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's go.
I was blown away. I was like, by the time it's time for us to go, he's going to change his mind and be like, nah, baby, I'm not going to go see no Sex in the City. But he went.
But I went.
But here's the thing. There was a long line because they were premiere tickets, so it was first come, first serve.
Family, understand. It was
Listen.
I never, the only thing I can equate it to is like if you've ever seen a line for like when a new iPhone comes out. And the line that forms for people waiting to buy a new iPhone, that's what it was like. It was like just hundreds of people in line. Right.
No, not hundreds of women.
Actually, I take that back.
In line.
Hundreds of women.
And as the line is growing,
and it's just more women are coming, and I mean groups of them. Like it was mothers and daughters and sisters and aunties and best friends, and it was just.
It was a girls' night out.
Yeah, it was a girls' night out. And in the midst of all these women,
there he is.
There I am.
And so I had women ask like, "Is that your husband?" And I'm like, "Yeah." How did you get him here? Oh my God. They looking at him and they was like, they was like patting him on the back like he did the greatest thing
I was getting
ever.
high fives from strange women. I didn't know. I mean, like, no, seriously. I had these older women just coming up to me, just high fiving me.
Like, we're so proud
it was like,
of
you go, boy.
Yeah, you so
like,
proud
I didn't
of you.
do anything but stand here.
Listen, because everybody was like, our husbands would have not come. How did you do it? And I honestly said, I just asked him. And the reason why we're both telling you this, to be honest, is because you got to ask yourself, did you do the ask?
Yeah, did you do that?
Did you do the ask?
Or did you just assume?
Exactly. That he or she would not come or go. Yeah.
Did you just assume it's not their cup of tea, so there's no need of me asking?
Exactly.
Or did you just assume where they're going to say no anyway, so I'm not even going to set myself up for failure?
Yeah, exactly.
And here's the thing about a question. It's 50-50 all the time.
Yeah.
Any question you ask,
no matter what,
it's 50-50 all the time.
No matter what.
Either they're going to answer the question or they're not going to answer the question.
Or they're either going to say yes
it's
or they're going to say
yes
no.
or no.
Exactly.
But any question you ask is a 50-50 proposition anytime.
Yeah, absolutely.
So going in knowing your odds are 50-50.
That's a good odds, though.
You might as well go ahead and ask the question.
Just go for it. Just go for it. Absolutely. Let me see. There's another one. Let me see.
What else you got?
Okay. It says I don't know what she want me to say, but how do you allow yourself to open up in a relationship?
Oh, okay. I like that question. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
I'm going to go first. Let me see what you got.
Okay.
You know, I love when I'm just asking the question. I can be letting you answer everything.
I got you. So how do you allow yourself to open up in a relationship?
Yeah.
That's the question, right?
That's what it says. That's what she got typed here.
What I would say, and once again, I've said this before, I'm not a therapist.
Nope.
I just play one on the radio.
Yep. We are not therapists.
So
let's do that disclaimer. We're not therapists.
We're not therapists.
Listen, we're not telling you what to do and how to do it. Be in a relationship, not be in a relationship, break up a relationship. That is not what we're doing.
What I am is a person that's had a lot of life experience. A lot of life experience when it comes to heartache, when it comes to pain, when it comes to joy. And that's what I speak from. I speak from my life experience. So when you ask me the question, how do you allow yourself to open up in a relationship? For me, the key word in that sentence is allow. You first have to allow yourself to be open. You have to give yourself permission. First of all, and when I say this, I know it sounds crazy, but you have to give yourself permission to be hurt. Here's what I mean by that. Because anytime you go into a relationship, there is always a possibility of being hurt. And when people think about being hurt in a relationship, they think about the person leaving me or the person cheating on me. They go to the extremes.
Yeah, extremes.
But being in a relationship is pain every day. They may say something that you don't like. You may want them to do something that they don't want to do. You may want them to go somewhere they don't want to go.
Yeah. And your feelings get hurt.
Your feelings get hurt.
Right.
You know, it could be where you're excited. And this, to be honest, this happens to Ange and I all the time, where she is so excited about something.
Super excited.
She is super excited. And she comes to me with this excitement and she's happy about what she's talking about. And it's not that I don't care about what she's talking about. It's just I don't have the same excitement.
He doesn't match my excitement.
Yeah, I don't match her level of excitement when it comes to it. And it's not intentional, but when it happens, it hurts her feelings.
Yeah.
And I can see it. I see the change and I see the level and the knob being turned down.
Yeah.
And it's not intentional.
And if you're not careful, if you're not careful to understand what that is, it's going to be hard for you to open up. You're going to shut down immediately and be like, won't do that no more.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen to me again.
So the first thing is that you have to allow yourself to be hurt. And once you get into a position where you allow yourself to be hurt, then what you do is that you learn the person. And here's what I mean by that. Because the only way that you're going to allow yourself to open up within a relationship is that you have to feel comfortable that what you bring to the relationship is not going to be misused.
Right. You put your guard down.
Right. So, and the only way you're going to get to the point where you feel as though what you're bringing to the relationship is not being misused, you have to learn the other person. You have to know the other person. Because first of all, day one, you're not going to be totally vulnerable and totally open to a person that you just met, because that you're truly setting yourself up for failure. Yeah. So you have to take the time to learn the other person, to learn their motives, to learn what are they bringing to the table, to learn, are they here for me? Are they here for something else?
Right.
So it's a learning process. It's a learning experience. And then what you have to do, it's okay. Test the person. Give them small amounts of information first. Give them little pieces first. See what they do with it. And then as you do that, as you give them little pieces of information, because the thing about trust has to be earned. Trust has to be gained.
It has to be.
And the only way that you're going to allow yourself to open up in a relationship is that first there has to be a trust factor. I have to trust that if I give my wife something, that she's not going to use it against me.
Right.
That she's not going to use it to tear me down.
Right.
That she's going to protect it, and that she's going to, if it's something that's hurting me, that she's going to help me and walk me through it. So allow yourself to be open. So first of all, allow yourself to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Allow yourself to be hurt. But then also allow trust to come in. Learn the person that you're with, and then build that trust.
Absolutely.
That makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense.
I hope that makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense. I think my short answer in reference to that question is that when you say opening yourself up, the first thing I come to is like, what does that mean when you say allow yourself to open up in a relationship? And I think because everybody's open is different than everybody else is open.
This is true.
So, and I think that you have to, like Cynthia said, you have to be careful. You can open yourself up, but it needs to be slowly. Sometimes we want to put all our walls down and give everything to somebody. I think it takes time. I think it's day by day, second by second, minute by minute. I think it's where you begin to build a relationship of trust where your openness will happen. That's what I believe. When I can trust you, if I can trust you with small stuff, then I can begin to let my walls down. I can trust you with the big stuff. And that's where the open relationship comes in at.
Right.
You know, and that's only going to be by trust and, again, by trial and error.
Right.
And when it comes to you saying, St. Jess was saying, you have to allow yourself to get hurt. The whole process of this is a lot of people don't open up themselves because they don't want to be hurt.
Right. They're so afraid of being hurt.
Exactly. But when you say to yourself, I may, and again, we're going back to 50-50. I may get hurt. I may not get hurt. And I'm going to have to be open to that. I'm going to have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
So as far as being open up to a relationship with someone else, you need to be open and honest with yourself first. In reference to a relationship and how much are you willing to give. And then at that point, if they are deemed trustworthy, then at that point you can slowly, open up to them. So I hope that we answered that question. I don't know, baby. I don't know.
They'll tell us if we didn't.
Yeah, they always tell us
they
something.
Do.
Okay, it says, how do you correct someone if they're doing something helpful but not to your standards? Do you correct them, or do you allow it to aggravate you?
I'm gonna let you answer that one. I'm gonna let you answer that one because that's your life. That's your life. So I'm going to let you answer that one first. Because I know that stuff I do that aggravates you.
Okay, here's the thing. When it comes to them doing something that's helpful, it's twofold. I'll give you, for instance, we can use the bed. How about the bed?
Let's use the bed.
I can use the bed.
Use the bed.
Okay. Two things that happens when Sanchez makes up the bed. When he makes up the bed, I used to wait till he wasn't looking and shift it or move it or fix it properly to the way that I did like, but not recognizing that when I did that.
Don't use the word properly because I didn't do it improperly.
Okay.
I didn't make up the bed improperly.
The way that I think the bed should be made up.
There you go.
And I would fix it to my liking. But the only thing was what I didn't realize is that when I do that, because he did the way that he liked it, when I changed it, he noticed. Right. And then I guess he went and got a scoreboard. Right. And really, and at that point he was like, well, I might as well not make up the bed no more. Because obviously you coming right behind me and fixing it. So what am I making up the bed for? Right.
Why am I wasting my time if you're going to redo it?
Exactly. And so we had to come to a neutral ground when it came to make up the bed, because even though it aggravated me the way that he makes up the bed, he made up the bed. You know what I'm saying? And what I don't want to do is discourage him from making up the bed. Because if I discourage him from making up the bed, then guess what? I'm always making up the bed. So that sounds a little bit selfish, but it's the truth, right?
Got that right.
And so what you want to do is to see if what you're aggravated about is really even to be aggravated about, right? See how much of that is coming out of your life, how much energy it takes to be aggravated about something that someone is doing, and if they're not doing it to your standards. So, because the question was not that they're not doing anything. The question was when they do something that is helpful, because that's what you said, is helpful, but it's just not done the way that you like it. What do you correct him or be aggravated? Well, the moment that you allow them to do it, you should not be aggravated at all because you relinquish power to them at that point. Does that make sense? When I say Sanchez make up the bed, I relinquish all power to him to make up the bed how he deemed.
At that point, it became
necessary.
my task. It's no longer your task.
Not your task. And so if you want a particular way,
you should have did it.
Then you need to take hold of that and let that be your thing all the time. Right. So, and again, you got to realize too that we're all raised different. So let's say clean up the bedroom, right? Okay. So cleaning up the bedroom, Sanchez makes up the bed. He vacuums. He does all of that. The only thing that he doesn't do that bothers me, and I know what he's about to say.
I'm not a duster.
Is he don't dust.
I'm not going to dust. I'm not a duster.
He's not a duster.
My mother made me do it as a child. I refuse to do it as an adult.
He's not a duster. So I'm looking like, baby, you done vacuum, you done sprayed, and the room looking gorgeous. But about this dust on your nightstand, he was like, it's just gonna stay.
I like the dust.
That's what actually. That's what he told me. I like the dust.
It's ambiance. It brings character.
And that bothers me, aggravates me so much. I'm like, for me, when you're doing a room, dusting is part of the criteria of doing the room, but in his mind, that is not part of the criteria of cleaning a room. So for me, I had to go, okay, hold on. So vacuuming is his criteria. Making the bed is his criteria. Spraying, making everything real good. He even do my decorative pillows well, ladies. Oh my God, I'm so excited. He used to didn't, but he does it so well. So if the only thing is dusting and I'm aggravated, then girl, just go dust. Just go dust. Because in his mindset, He's done the room wonderfully. Dusting is not in his thing. For me, when it comes to the bedroom, I will dust, I will make up the bed, I will do all of that. But a sister ain't vacuuming. That ain't in my, and that irks him because he's like,
not in your wheelhouse.
That irks him because he's a vacuumer, and he's like, so you go, baby, you're not gonna. And I'm looking at him like, what he want me to do? I don't want to vacuum.
Family, she hasn't touched a vacuum since 1963.
I don't like the vacuum.
That's the last time.
And the only rooms is the bedrooms that need to be vacuumed. But he understood at that point that's like, do you still get aggravated about it or you just know that it's not
I already know that you're not going to do it. I know that you don't like to do it. So I just do it. If I want it done, I just do it.
Exactly.
Because, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was saying, so when you thinking about that in reference to when you say correcting them, make sure if you feel like you need to correct, I don't think you should if they're being helpful, but and they're not doing it to your standard, then you work that out. Yeah. But be careful how you correct people.
I was going to say that too, because remember, we all adults out here.
Right.
So when you're using a word, do you correct them? I need you to be careful with that because you have to remember you're speaking to another adult.
Right.
You're speaking to your spouse. You're speaking to, it should be, in most cases, you're speaking to your best friend.
Right.
You're speaking to a contemporary. You're not speaking to an underling. You're not speaking to a child. You're not speaking to someone who reports to you.
Right.
You're speaking to a contemporary. So when you're using the words, should I correct them? First of all, I think you're going into it with the wrong mindset, thinking that you have the right to correct them.
Like a teacher-student kind of thing.
Yeah, like a teacher-student thing. But also, what I'm going to say to that is that in life, you need to pick your battles. Because what it sounds like is that you want to argue. And so you're going to be arguing about one or two things. Are you going to argue about you did the dishes, but I don't like the way you did the dishes?
Right.
Or are you going to argue about the fact that you didn't do the dishes? For me, I'd just rather you do the dishes.
Just do the dishes.
Dishes are done.
Because I won't do it.
It's done.
It's done.
So why am I nitpicking? Because instead of when you put them in the rack, instead of putting it plate, saucer, dish, bowl, you put bowl, plate, salsa, bowl, dish, and it's not in order. So now you want to complain about. But the dishes are clean.
But they're clean.
But they're done. Yeah. So for me, it's pick your battles. Is this a battle worth fighting? Is this something worth getting aggravated over? Right. Because you did the laundry, but I just don't like the way you fold. What are we doing here? Yeah. So not the fact that you're helpful, because I think what happens is that we have a tendency in life to overlook the good things. Yeah. To find something bad.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because there are so many people who complain that their spouses don't help in any way.
In any way. Whatsoever, as
and
they say.
Whatsoever. They don't.
As whatsoever.
They don't contribute in any way. And this goes both ways. It's not just for the women complaining about the men, but it's the men complaining about women as well. Where they don't help with the kids. They don't do the housework. They don't help with the housework. They don't cook. They don't do the dishes. They don't wash the car. They don't put gas in it. There's so many things that we talk about we don't do. So when we're having a conversation about you have a significant other, you have a spouse, you have someone who is helping, who does something, who does the dishes, who does the laundry, who cleans the bathroom, it's just not to your liking. It's not to your standards. What are we really doing?
And I think too, when it comes to that, when you're asking them to do it, you already know they're not going to do it the way that you like it. So what you mad about? Like, it's not, if this was the first time ever, okay, let's just backtrack. If this was the first time ever, y'all a couple, y'all just got married, y'all did never live together, and then they do this thing, and you be like, hey, babe, is it by chance, can you wipe down the sink or the cabinets or whatever the case? I'm just making something up. Because that's what every night afterwards, that's what I like to do. So is it possible on your night, can you do that as well, and show them? Now, let's say down the road, you realize that they're still not doing it at that point. It's going to agitate you and aggravate you because you've had the discussion, baby, can you? But now that's not what they do. They forgot. So now there's only two things that can happen. You're going to either wipe it down yourself or be agitated about it, right? And so you say to yourself, you know what? I've said it to them several times and they're not doing it. So you know what? I'm gonna do it because I know I appreciate them cleaning the kitchen. I just know that they keep forgetting to do this one thing. Don't battle on that. Don't battle on that. It's not what they do. And so now you just wipe it down and go on about your business, because what's going to happen is you're going to keep agitating yourself every single time, or you're just going to be doing the kitchen every single time. Yeah. You are now officially the kitchen person.
You're going to be the kitchen person. You're going to be forever on kitchen duty, because you have to be careful with that and once again, we're speaking from experience because my wife and I ran into this before. I'm on both sides where she was doing something and I always had something to say about it. And it got to the point where she felt unappreciated. She started to feel like nothing that she could do was good enough. And to the point that she just stopped doing it altogether. And it happened to me as well, where I would do some things and I really put in effort to do it. It's not like I was half stepping. It's not like I was just barely doing it. I was really putting in effort to do what she asked me to do. But once again, it wasn't to her expectation of what it should be. And so it got to the point where I felt like nothing I could do was ever good enough. It's like, so what's the point? What's the point of me continuously doing the kitchen if you're always going to come behind me and redo it, or you're always going to come behind me and find something?
Then do it yourself.
And just leave me out of the equation. Yeah. And so, and before we get to that point, like I said, so just for me with that question it's pick your battles. Yeah. Is every battle worth fighting? Yeah. And because for me, once again, if they're doing it, it's a different conversation if you have to do everything yourself.
Or you saying they're not doing nothing.
They're not contributing in any way. That's a different conversation. Yeah. But if the conversation is they are doing it, they are being helpful, they contribute, it just doesn't please my eye.
I wouldn't have done it that way.
I wouldn't have done it that way.
Oh, then you on your own.
Then do it yourself.
All right, I'm gonna get one more question, and we gonna call it a whole
episode.
A whole episode.
All right, what else you got?
All right, I'm gonna get us, because some of these things are long. Okay, how are you able to get to 22 years?
Oh Lord, with a lot of prayer. A lot of prayer.
Wait, I'm not finished. It says,
there's more?
How do you do the everyday?
Oh, okay. No, actually, this is a simply complex answer. How do you make it to, I'm going to talk about us. How did we make it to 22 years? We made it to 22 years because we took it day by day. Yes. There's an old television show that I used to enjoy. They remade it. I wasn't too fond of the remake, but hey. And it was called One Day at a Time.
I knew you was going to talk about that.
Was the name of the show. It was called One Day at a Time. And for us, we have to take our marriage one day at a time. Every day I wake up making choices. And the choices I make every day is that every day I choose to love my wife. Every day I choose to be her husband. Every day I choose to be the best husband I can for that day. And so that's what I do. So every day I take it a day at a time. I can't worry about what kind of husband I'm going to be in 5 years. I can't worry about what type of husband I'm going to be in 10 years. The only thing I can worry about is what type of husband am I going to be today in this moment. Yeah. And today in this moment, I do everything I can to be the best version of the husband that she needs. Now, do I always succeed? No, I don't. Because I'm human and I'm flawed and I have errors. So there's sometimes in those moments that I'm a jerk. There's sometimes in those moments where I'm short. There's sometimes in those moments where I'm mean. There's sometimes in those moments where I say things out of the way that hurts her feelings. So there's sometimes in those moments where I have to double back and apologize for my behavior within those moments.
Yeah, vice versa.
Yeah, but within those moments, I never not choose, even when I make a mistake or even when I misstep, I never not choose to love her. Yeah. I never not choose to be her husband. I never not choose to be the best version of a husband that she needs. So for me, how did I make it 22 years is because every day, one day at a time, I made choices.
Yeah. First, you stole my answer. I felt like you stole my answer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because I was going to say the same thing. I choose it every single day. When I wake up, I choose. And not only do I choose, but I'm thankful. And I also understand that every day that we're on the same team. Right. Because again, for me personally, 22 years, I feel like we're babies in the game. Yeah. For me, I guess because we know couples that are married so much longer than we are, that we feel like we're like truly babies. Do we have some knowledge? Absolutely. Do we have some nuggets to give? Absolutely. Do we have different perspectives? Absolutely. But I think that we're still new in the game. And so the way that it works for me is I'm trying to learn him every single day. Like he said, I'm not only do I choose him, I'm trying to learn him. He may not be the same person he was last month or last week or whatever. So I got to learn that. I got to know that because we're human and I choose to. And it's funny because when you think about it, time flies by so fast because you're not concerning yourself with the time. You're concerning yourself with the moments. You're concerning yourself with loving that person or being with that person. So not that we don't have a goal for our marriage for whatever year or whatever the case is, but it's not that. It is more so, but what can we do is have a goal for this moment where we together right now. Yeah. And I think that's where it is for us for right now and how we've been able to sustain this because how it's Monday today and you'll look up like it's Thursday. Yeah. Where did the time go? And it's like that. But I don't want to just say where the time go. And if someone asks me where did the time go, I want to be able to give an answer. And so that only way that you can do that is by being in the moment. So that's just my thought process on it. And
also, can I just add one thing to that before we wrap it up? Also, how did we make it 22 years and how can you make it 22 years? Is that what we learned early in our marriage is that you have to surround yourself with the right people. Yeah. And we were blessed. One of the foundational couples that has been along this 22-year journey for the Crenshaws. I was 4 years old when they got married.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. I was
so crazy.
4. They've been married.
So I'm going to listen to them.
Yeah, they've been married over 40 years.
I'm going to listen to them people.
And they're still together. It hasn't always been pretty. It hasn't always been easy. But they chose to put God in their marriage. And B, they chose their marriage. Yeah. And they made a conscious decision that no matter what came their way, that they would always fight for their marriage. Yeah. And there's so much that we gleaned from that couple. And not only that couple, but we
so many
because the one beautiful thing is that throughout these 22 years, we've been blessed with couples to be surrounded by couples who've been married for 5 years, been married for 10 years, for 20 years, for 30 years, for 50 years. We've been surrounded by newlyweds. So what we always try to do, we always try to surround ourselves with a core group of married couples who are not perfect. You never look for anybody perfect, because if somebody tells you they're perfect, you got problems with that. But we look for couples who take their marriage serious, who love their marriage, and will do everything they can to fight for their marriage.
Absolutely.
And that's the way we've been able to last for 22 years, is that we take it a day at a time, and then we surround ourselves with couples who marriage means as much to them as it does to us.
Yeah. And I think that one of the things that our foundational mentors made sure that we understood, to put God in the center of everything and pray together and love each other and take it one step at a time. But know that you need to be praying for one for another. Yeah. That was so important in putting God in the center of everything that you do. And so that's what we've been able to do. We're not perfect at it. Oh, but we try.
No, not perfect at all.
We try so much, so much. I read this.
What you read, baby?
I just want to, this is my final thing that I want to say.
This your final thought? Okay, cool.
And this is to the women. I don't know where this came from. It was in my phone. I have a lot of notes about prayers for husbands and stuff like that. I pray for Sanchez earnestly all the time. But it says, pray regularly for your husband. You are the most influential person in his life. Use that influence for good.
Oh, wow.
And so,
do me a favor, say it again.
It says that pray regularly for your husband. You are the most influential person in his life. Use that influence for good. Wow. And so I have to read this sometime. I don't even know where it came from. I have to read that sometimes to just remind myself that I influence my husband by being the best version of myself. Right. And not only that, but praying for him that he will be the best version of himself, and making sure that when he lets the walls down because he trusts me, that I use the influence that I know I have over him, that I will use it for good. Because sometimes we have so much influence, what I call that good old pillow talk, to get our spouse to do anything that we want, right? But I always want to make sure that what I'm asking Sanchez to do, or what I'm asking him to be, or what I need from him, that the influence that I know I have over him, that I use it for good, right? Because if it's good for him, it's always going to be good for me, And so that's my final say in reference to us being married 22 years as well.
Got you. Well, baby, I think that's a good place to end it.
We can end it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, my final thought is going to be, it's not necessarily a thought. It's a just family thank you.
Thank you.
We said this in the beginning of this episode, but I just want to reiterate that how much this journey has meant to us. Your support, your love, your feedback. If you feel like we've fallen off, then you are free to tell us, and you tell us, and you love us, and you
thank you,
and you just provide such great insight to what we do and how we do it,
and perspective.
And so, family, once again, we just thank you. We thank you so much for these last 2 years.
Thank you.
It's been amazing. To be on this journey with you, and we're looking forward to another 2 and another 2 and another 2. So we just thank you, and that's going to be my final thought there. I just want to thank the family.
And our prayer is that we've blessed you in some type of way, or you've heard something that has blessed you, and that is taking you to the next level. And if you have any prayers for us to take us to the next level as well, pray for us and keep us in your thoughts and in your hearts and your mind. And once again, we appreciate you. Thank you for listening these 2 years.
And family, just thank you. However you're listening, whether it's on iTunes, whether it's Podbean, whether it's Spotify, whether it's Google Podcasts, whether it's Amazon Music, whether it's iHeartRadio, or on our own personal website at www.thecrenshawcorner.com. As always, we consider ourselves an interactive podcast, which means we can be found on the socials. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, all in the Crenshaw Corner. And of course, you can email us at any time at thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com. Once again, the Crenshaw Corner at gmail.com. Yes. Family, you can find us on YouTube. We have a YouTube station, which is the Crenshaw Corner. Please go there, watch the videos, like, comment, share, subscribe. Please make sure you click the notification bell to be notified when new videos are uploaded. Yes. And then family, just as always, welcome to our journey.
We love you guys. Bye.